Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, good day to you. That's depending where you are in the world. I'm in London doing the nighttime devotion from the devotional Christ Triumphant. The title today, Israel's experience reminds us of Sabbath importance. Exodus 16, 29 and 30. See, the Lord has given you the Sabbath. Therefore, on the sixth day, he gives you food for 2 days. Each of you stay where you are. Do not leave your place on the seventh day. So the people rested on the seventh day. Before the law was given from Sinai, God wrought a miracle each week to impress the people with the sanctity of the Sabbath. He rained manna from heaven for their food, and each day they gathered this manna. But on the sixth day they gathered twice as much as usual, according to the directions of Moses. And the children of Israel did eat manna 40 years, until they came to a land uninhabited. They did eat manna until they came into the borders of the land of Canaan. Thus for 40 years, God worked a miracle before his people each week to show them his Sabbath was a sacred day. God directed that a tabernacle should be built where the Israelites, during their wilderness journey, could worship him. Orders from heaven were given that the tabernacle should be built without delay. Because of the sacredness of the work and the need for haste, some argued that the work on the tabernacle should be carried forward on the Sabbath, as well as on other days of the week. Christ heard these suggestions and saw that the people were in great danger of being ensnared by concluding that they would be justified in working on the Sabbath so that the tabernacle might be completed as quickly as possible. The word came to them, "Verily my Sabbaths ye shall keep." Though the work on the tabernacle must be carried forward with expedition, the Sabbath must not be employed as a working day. Even the work on the Lord's house must give way to the sacred observance of the Lord's rest day. Thus God is jealous for the honor of his memorial of creation. The Sabbath is a token between God and his people. It is a holy day given by the Creator to us as a day upon which to rest and reflect upon sacred things. God designed it to be observed through every age as a perpetual covenant. As we refrain from labor on the seventh day, we testify to the world that we are on God's side and are striving to live in perfect conformity to his commandment. Thus we recognize as our sovereign the God who made the world in 6 days and rested on the Sabbath. On the seventh, the true Sabbath is to be restored to its rightful position as God's rest day. Israel's experience reminds us of Sabbath importance. So we're reminded once again, God rained manna from heaven to feed the Israelites in the wilderness for 6 days. But on the sixth day, which we know as Friday, he rained double the amount, so the people could collect double the amount, and they would have food for the next day ready for Sabbath. and they would not have to go out and collect or do any work on the Sabbath. It was all there ready. And it also talks about when they were instructed to build the tabernacle, and it had to be done in a set time as God had commanded. And yet they some of them weren't sure whether they could complete it in the time, so they wanted to work through the Sabbath as well. But God commanded, no, keep my Sabbaths holy. You shall not work on the Sabbath. They still managed to do it because, of course, God knew they could do it. But it was the fact that they wanted to work through it. We're reminded here, keeping the Sabbath is a memorial of God creating the heavens and the earth in 6 days and resting on the seventh. And so with us resting on the seventh day, the Sabbath day, which in this earth's time now is called Saturday, we are remembering the God of all creation and what he did in 6 days to rest on the seventh. The irony is, I know people that do go to church on the Sabbath, and yet they don't necessarily believe in the 6 days of creation. It's quite ironic because they claim to be Sabbath keepers, but they don't know what the Sabbath entirely is, then, do they? I hope you had a good Sabbath. I certainly did. Restful, insightful, and enjoyable. God bless you.